In my last video, I used the character select mod to always replace Sonic as Tails, to see how much of the game is still beatable as only Tails, and it was really easy. Because Tails retains most of Sonic's abilities, and all of Tails' levels are just short sections of Sonic's levels, everything was incredibly easy, with barely any roadblocks. But what about Knuckles? While Knuckles still keeps Sonic's speed and has a roll ability, the goal for Knuckles is always to find 3 pieces of the Master Emerald, instead of the A to B that Sonic and Tails use, and his abilities are designed around that. So that should make the challenge a little more interesting. The rules are the same as last time, no swapping from Knuckles, and I can't mod in extra abilities, even to pass things that break because of the character select mod, and not because the character's abilities don't allow for something. Like last time, I'll start off with the bosses. For Chaos Zero, just glide into his head. For Egg Hornet, just jump into him, or charge up I don't know what this move is called, so I'll call it a lightspeed attack because it does the same thing, and prepare your ears. This has the same effect as mashing the homing attack as Sonic, where because you hit Eggman so fast, he can't get back into the air, so you can hit him multiple times and finish the fight in under 30 seconds. Chaos 4 is the same boring 2-minute slog as it is as Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Get this manifestation of boredom off my screen. Thank God the Chaos 4 easy kill mod exists. Chaos 6 you also fire as Knuckles, and it's the same fight in both stories. With both Sonic and Knuckles, you can charge up a lightspeed attack to do 2 damage per hit, making the fight winnable in under 30 seconds. Just make sure you attack from the side and not the front, as it's not reliable. For Egg Viper, the first hit is easy, just glide into him. For hits 2, 3 and 4, glide into the last green spot. The added height will allow you to get the hit, and you'll be safely moved to the next platform. I'm talking about Train Station or Sonic Adventure. For the rest of the hits, get on the platforms and fly into him, dodge his final attack, then win, making all the bosses easily possible as Knuckles. Let's move on to the stages now, as these use more of Sonic's abilities and there's less crossover between stories because of different playstyles, so these should be more interesting. Also, I'll be naming each section by how it's named on the OST, because if you don't know anything about Sonic Adventure, numbers can be a bit confusing because the sections are not very visually distinct in a few areas, especially if you've never played the game before, and it can help with knowing where in the stage I am, because different sections can mean different things. Like for example, am I talking about another section of section 1? Like that can get confusing, so we're gonna do it like this. Emerald Coast is pretty easy, as it's a pretty basic level that doesn't really require any unique Sonic moves. But in Rindy and Ripley, which is section 2, you have to be careful. Don't take the jump pads as they are completely broken as Knuckles, and the game's softbox jump panel too. Luckily, the section is quite vertical and there's a spring off to the right, so just take that and glide to the end. Windy Valley was really easy, at least for Windy Hill. Just play it as normal or glide over everything, using Knuckles' broken glide that has almost 0 descent. The Tornado is where we run into some problems with these jump panels. Unlike Emerald Coast, there isn't a convenient spring that just skips a section. Each jump panel is on a platform, and if it was possible to reach that platform, it definitely would be possible to make some progress. Luckily, there are a few slopes here. This green one could be useful because of how steep it is, but that's where I'll look end, because getting on it kills all your speed. If this was Sonic Heroes, I could definitely see this jump being possible with its different physics, especially when it comes to how walls give you height when you rocket excel near them, but this isn't Sonic Heroes, so I'm gonna have to mark this one as possible. But I can see this as being possible if someone who knows the game really well tries it. So if you do know the game really well, have a go. Why not? You might be able to figure something out. Casinopolis was painful. My plan was to go straight to the sewer section because that's where all the rings are. Oh. So not only does that block off the pinball table, it also blocks off the sewer section. Luckily, there are rings in the casino section. First, grab the 7 rings from the showers, then jump on the slot machines, as those give you rings. After jumping on them twice, you'll have to let them cool down for a bit. You can't just jump on them indefinitely. Use this time to deposit rings. The first 2 red ones don't refill quick enough, so you're stuck with the last 4. And Tails loves to jump everywhere, so we end up losing a lot of potential rings. I tried to get up to the Knuckles exclusive section, thinking there'll be rings there, but the Sonic statue's weak point is blocked by an invisible wall, and any other method to get up didn't work because of the giant overhang. So gambling addiction it is. And after 16 minutes you will beat it, but I never want to do that again. I did not have good feelings about Ice Cap. The snowy mountain, just climb up to the rocket. The limestone cave, you will have to get the icicle to fall. This causes the drawbridge that leads to the snowboard section to fall. Problem is, these are activated by jump panels, which don't work as Knuckles. In Knuckles' Lost World, you can clip through the door that takes Sonic to the end in his version of Lost World. So, I went to the drawbridge to try it out, and just went through. I don't know if I could ever reproduce this, because I'm pretty sure I just found the right spot and got very lucky. For the snowboard section, Knuckles can't activate the snowboard, but the game does let you walk on the land. Not even that slow as long as you roll. Yes, it gets caught off by the bumpy texture of the terrain, but it's even worse when using the snowboard. It may royally the cameras, it doesn't work as well on foot as it does on the snowboard. Unless you just glide to the end like I did. Twinkle Kart was really easy. The karts work the exact same they do as Sonic. This obviously did not prepare me for the tonal whiplash that was Pleasure Castle, where the roller coaster just softblocks the game and you can't move until the roller coaster lets you. Also, the game broke here for some reason. Twinkle Park is really a level of 2 extremes and obviously it is impossible. But maybe there is a way out. I did mash buttons, but it just didn't work. Speed Highway was a breath of fresh air. A calm glide through a busy city, with some of the best Sonic music out there in the background. Oh yeah, I'm making a challenge video. That's Speed Highway this up. Run through the Speed Highway is really easy. Just glide to the loading zone. Going down doesn't let you stick to the wall, so it'll take a little longer than normal. It's still very easy. But at dawn, just glide to the end until you play this section as Knuckles anyway in his own story. Red Mountain's really easy. The verticality in Mount Red allows you to just glide to the end. For Red Hot Skull, after the tunnel section, go to the left and climb up the wall to find this platform. Then climb up to the checkpoint and make your way to the end for a useful shortcut. Skydeck would have been really painful if I actually engaged with the level design. Oh, before I talk about Knuckles? How wrong you are. Everything is even more sub-functional than it normally is. Good thing I have a glide. Make sure at the end of Skydeck a Go-Go you stick to the top path, so you don't have to engage with the cylinders. The outdoor cannon section can just be played as normal, and for general offensive, just climb up the right wall, run up the slope, and glide to this platform. Use a slight incline to reach the roof of the tunnel, climb up the tunnel, and then fall into the tunnel. Lost World wasn't much of an issue too. Tricky Maze can just be played as normal, and so can Danger Chased by Rocks. Just glide to the door instead of taking the light dash. Good thing we can climb. Final Egg was quite anticlimactic too. Just play as you normally would. Gliding isn't as useful here as the level is quite closed in, but it doesn't have any jump panels, so it is way better than any other stage in the game. Whew, I'm out of breath. Definitely more interesting than Tails, with only 8 out of 10 stages being possible, and 5 out of 5 bosses being impossible as Knuckles. If you know a thing or two about Sonic Adventure, please try the levels that are not possible. I think you could figure something out, or at least make some extra progress. In my next video, we will play Sonic's story as Amy, who has a completely different moveset to Sonic, and hopefully I'll see you there. Like, subscribe, I'll see you guys later.